Have a think about some low quality results that you have received recently and what specific actions led them there. So this could be a not so ideal client, a not so ideal job, maybe something you didn't want to do but you just took it anyway. What were the specific actions that led there, or what was the lead up to that? And then ask the same question for something high quality, maybe your ideal client, maybe again an ideal experience or an ideal opportunity to work with someone. What were the specific actions or the specific things that led to that? Because quite often when we get low quality results, it's a result of short-term thinking. It's when we're busy and we're stressed and we're in this sort of fight or flight kind of mode and a bit of a survival mode, and we're just taking anything that comes our way. And what that does is that stops us from being able to carve out the time and the space to strategize and to plan and to get clear on what we want and why we want it. By living in the short-term thinking and just constantly, I guess, being reactive instead of proactive, we're causing ourselves a lot of stress and we're making it really difficult to find the time to do the most important thing that we need to do, which is the long-term planning and the long-term thinking. So by doing this and just having a think about specific actions that have led there, you'll know what you need to take out and where you need to focus. And that's where you want to double down on, is the actions that lead to the high-quality results. Even though you're getting results, the low-quality results are taking far more from your time and your energy than it's actually worth to the overall picture. Have a think about specific sources that your profit comes from. This would probably be in business, but you could have some side hustle, in which case, wherever your money's coming from, list those things in that circle. And then in the next one, think of specific sources of joy for you. And this doesn't have to be in business. It might be. You might love certain aspects of your business. Think of specific places or sources, rather, of joy. And it could be a person. It could be a specific thing that you do. Like for me, I love walking out in nature. But also what brings me joy is getting all glammed up and coming into London and going to nice bars and eating nice food at restaurants. That brings me joy too. So I'd list all these things down in that section. And then when you've got your specific sources of profit and your specific sources of joy, get your creative cap on and think, how can you merge those two together to have the most joy and make the most profit in your life and in your business? And this makes everything holistically work so much better together, which alleviates stress because joy is going to energize you and motivate you to do more. What percentage of your self-worth is tied to your business? Just have a think about voices that are in your head that are pushing you to do things. What's motivating you? What's driving you forward? If this number's high, that's the majority of people because we spend so much of our life working. And particularly for business owners and for entrepreneurs as well, we spend probably more than most. But even 9 to 5 doesn't exist for people anymore. And it's not just when we're at work doing events or with clients. We're also working when we're thinking about work, when we're talking about work. Even if we're sitting around the family table at home or we're socializing at the bar with friends and we're talking about work, we're still switched on. So that's why it's so important that we find balance, because otherwise everything, positive and negative, successes and failures in business, defines us as a person. It defines you as a human being. So we want to look at balance. Has anybody ever seen a Wheel of Life before or done a Wheel of Life? Really, really great just to get a visual on what's happening in your life and where there is imbalance. And again, there's always going to be imbalance. That's just the way things go. We can get balance and then probably a couple of weeks later we'll be knocked out of balance again. And it's just getting good at moving things kind of around and just regaining that balance. And again, if you're doing that sort of once a month, then you just get quicker and smarter at it. It's a bit like an airplane as well. An airplane is constantly moving off course and being redirected on course. It looks like it's going in a straight line, but really it's moving along. And we do that. So it's not like we should get balance and hold on to it. We just need to get good at being agile and, regaining balance again. Prolonged stress is what takes you to burnout. But what's actually the difference between the two? So stress is the feeling of too much. It's an anxious feeling. It's, things kind of being piled on. Things are getting too much and you're getting stressed. So you are feeling. And when you get to burnout, it's the feeling of nothing left. You've been stressed for so long that actually you don't care anymore. You don't get enjoyment out of the things that you once did. It creates this numbing effect, and you withdraw from the work that you once loved. You can withdraw from the people, responsibilities. You find yourself procrastinating over things, just kind of going through the motions, dull, mindless tasks. That's when you've hit burnout. And what causes that, as I've said, is really just mainly stress, prolonged stress over a period of time, which again is why it's important to keep on top of stress levels. And the things that are likely to cause you stress are lack of control, and this could be lack of control within your own organization. So again, not organizing your time effectively, not prioritizing your time effectively. It could be lack of control outside of you with things going on at work. Like we get really stressed if we can't have control over that. Unclear expectations. Again, this could be unclear expectations of yourself, where you've not actually done the long-term thinking, you've not done the plan and the strategies, you don't know where you're going, and you don't know why you're going there, so you feel lost. Or it could be unclear expectations from someone else. This could be in your personal life, or it could be from your clients as well. They're not sure, or they keep changing their minds. That can cause you a lot of stress. And being out of alignment as well. And this is something that I feel probably quite close to as well, and something that I've been going through recently, is that we have these shift in values as we go through life. Like we have our core values. You'll notice the stuff that lit you up as a kid, that you were really excited about and that you're passionate about, generally doesn't change too much, but we do still shift as we go through life. And there's so much opportunity around for us now as well. There's so many different options of ways of working, of places to work, of people to work with, of things that we can do. So we're naturally going to shift because the world is evolving and we're evolving as well. And again, it comes back to that identity. When we hold on too much of the things that we do and the things that we've always done, then we really struggle to move with the times. We actually miss out on a lot of fun and a lot of opportunity if we do that. So just be mindful of maybe if you're having a bit of a value shift, and lean into that, because you can't ignore that. That's always going to feel really uncomfortable, and it is going to make you feel stressed. But I think the key thing with stress is to not identify with it. So don't say, I am stressed. Say, I'm feeling stressed. And then interpret it. Don't identify with it, just interpret it, because all stress is, it's just feedback. It's like a little tap on the shoulder, particularly early on with stress. A little tap on the shoulder just saying, hey, things aren't right, so you need to do something. And if you look at it like that, it's far less scary, it's far less anxiety-inducing, and you can go, okay, cool, right, we have a problem, what's the problem? And then you can have a think, is it a lifestyle thing? Am I actually unwell? Do I need to see a doctor? Am I out of balance in life? Am I not actually being true to my values? Am I denying something that I value? Am I in real danger here? Or am I simply a little bit out of my comfort zone? Is it because I'm protecting my identity because I'm really scared, but actually I need to move on and do this other thing? So just interpret stress. Don't identify with it. Just see it as feedback and ask it questions and find out what it's telling you. And I think the most important thing that we should all do is make sure that we don't leave the light on. So signal to yourself somehow that you're switching out of work mode and you're moving on to social mode, recreation mode, spirituality mode, self-care mode, whatever. Make sure you're sending that signal to yourself somehow. And it could be changing your environment. It could be seeing a specific person. Find something that signals that, because otherwise we just leave our mind open. We don't stop it, and it just whirs on. And then it infiltrates into, as I said, the conversations at the dinner table. It infiltrates into conversations at bar, when we're lying awake at night, we're just thinking about it. And all the time that we're thinking and we're talking, never mind doing actual work, is taking up so much energy and time, not allowing us to spend it on ourselves, spend it on the things that are important to us. And again, it's going to cause stress eventually, because we're not bringing ourselves joy, and we're going to 100% have needs that aren't met. So just make sure you are switching that light off somehow. So remember that phrase, don't leave the light on.